only 20 minutes to work out, should you do a HIIT workout or steady state cardio?
Runners, take your marks.
What burns more calories?
Ready,
What sheds more fat?
set,
What makes you live longer?
go!
HIIT versus steady state cardio. The ultimate debate, backed by science.
I'm Madison, an ACE-certified fitness instructor and holistic nutrition coach, and I make science-backed videos on fitness advice. First, let's clear some things up and define what we're talking about. HIIT, which stands for High Intensity Interval Training, is a type of exercise that incorporates multiple rounds of high intensity movements to get your heart rate up to 80% of its max, then followed by short periods of rest, such as 30 seconds of sprints and 30 seconds of rest, alternating back and forth for 20 minutes. On the other hand, steady state cardio is any form of continuous, steady exercise that's performed at a moderate effort for an extended period of time. An example of this would be running a few miles at a 5 out of 10 mile pace. So now that we know the difference between the two, we need some type of metric to figure out which one is superior. So I broke it down into these 4 categories to compare. Which burns more fat, which is less damaging to your body, which improves your lifespan the most, and which burns more calories. To answer these questions, we're going to dive into the research so we can come to an ultimate conclusion. And I'm bringing in my friend Sarah to help.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm an ACE-certified personal trainer and a published author in the International Journal of Exercise Science. I've researched this topic extensively, so let's get into it.
Question number 1, what burns more fat?
To explain which one burns more fat, we need to understand how the energy is utilized and where it comes from in each type of workout. The 2 types of workouts can be broken down into aerobic training and anaerobic training. Steady state cardio is a form of aerobic exercise where we use the oxygen we breathe for fuel. HIIT is a form of anaerobic training, which means without oxygen. Because of the extreme intensity of these workouts, the oxygen from the air we breathe itself isn't enough to fuel our workouts, so we use energy stored in our muscles and from the carbs we eat called glucose. Alternatively, with steady state cardio, your body primarily gets energy through mostly fatty acids, some glucose, and a small amount of amino acids. Fatty acids are the building blocks from the fats in our bodies. Glucose comes from the carbs that we eat, and amino acids are the building blocks of protein, which we also get in our diet. So why does all of this matter? According to a study published in the National Library of Medicine, doing HIIT workouts burns a lower overall percentage of calories from fat compared to steady state cardio.
So if HIIT burns more total calories, it could burn more fat, even though steady state cardio burns a higher percentage of fat.
Exactly, but we can dig more into this later in question number 4, where we talk more about overall calories.
Because fat burned is relative to the number of calories burned, we'll come back to this question.
Question number 2, which is less damaging for your body?
Well, joint and ligament issues are common in various forms of cardio. Due to the high-intensity nature of HIIT workouts, they are also often high impact, which is very harsh on the joints. Steady-state cardio is generally performed over long periods of time, which can also lead to overuse injuries. Both forms of exercise seem to have risks, so we decided to bring in an expert on this topic to help us understand this better.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Glaser. I'm a dual board certified interventional pain management physician and anesthesiologist. So steady state cardio and high intensity interval training are 2 types of exercises that many people engage in, and both of them have their pros and cons. With the steady state cardio training, people go for longer periods continuously without stopping. And although that's very good for the heart and good for the body in general, it can be really rough on the joints with regards to wear and tear long term. So frequently, we will see people in their 50s and 60s that do endurance training, long distance running, for example, where they'll have breakdown of their knee or hip joints. With HIIT, patients are more prone to develop tendon and ligament injuries. A tendon attaches muscle to bone and a ligament attaches bone to bone. And when you're doing high intensity training, you're more prone to damage a ligament or damage a tendon. So again, the advantages of high intensity interval training are that you can build good strength and you can get a good cardiac workout, but you preserve your joints, your major joints, more so than when you're doing steady state cardio. The disadvantages with HIIT are that you're more prone to develop tendinous and ligamentous injuries. Switching over to steady state cardio, the advantages of steady state cardio are that you build a very strong aerobic capacity. It's really good for your heart. Disadvantages, it could be taxing on your knees and your hips, which are your major joints. The research, despite a lot of research being done on both HIIT and steady state cardio, is inconclusive regarding which of the two are more prone to cause injury.
So, due to inconclusive studies, the question of which exercise is more damaging on your body seems to be a tie. Bottom line is listen to your body and be careful while working out.
So far, it's hard to say which exercise is taking the lead. Let's look at the next category.
Question number 3, which improves your lifespan the most?
The number one cause of death in the United States is heart disease, with over 250,000 of those deaths being due to lack of physical activity. So to see which type of cardio is better for our health long term, we should take a look at which does a better job at helping to prevent heart disease. Both steady state cardio and HIIT cause an increase in good cholesterol called HDL and a decrease in bad cholesterol called LDL, meaning that both forms of exercise help prevent heart disease. A study from the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that doing steady state cardio for 2 to 3 times per week is ideal in order to see health benefits and improving your lifespan. Doing steady state cardio anything beyond 2 to 3 times per week will not provide any extra health benefits to your lifespan. We also found a similar limitation of 2 to 3 times per week with HIIT workouts, and that 24 hours of recovery are necessary in between HIIT workouts to provide the body adequate time to recover. This doesn't necessarily mean that you should only be exercising 2 to 3 times per week. It's also good to incorporate strength training into your workouts on other days of the week as well. Let's bring in Dr. Glaser one more time to see what he has to say.
So when we talk about exercise, patients often ask, is there a particular type of exercise that prolongs life? Well, in this case, we're talking about HIIT versus steady state cardio, and the reality is both of them probably prolong life. We know that exercise prolongs life, and that people who live longer and happier and more healthier lives are people who engage in some form of exercise. It's very important to keep the body moving. When the body's not moving, that's when damage starts to occur. We know from patients who are bedridden, either at home or in the hospital, that organs start to break down, such as the kidney and the liver, and that joints are more prone to arthritis in those who are not mobile and are not moving. So whether you choose HIIT or steady state cardio or a combination of both, we know that people who exercise live longer, happier, and healthier lives.
So it seems that both forms of cardio are somewhat equally beneficial to your lifespan. So far, it doesn't look like we've come to any real conclusions yet.
But we do know that both HIIT and steady state cardio will extend your lifespan and likely to a similar amount.
But we still have one question left, which will help us come to an overall conclusion and help us answer the discussion from the beginning of which burns more fat. In the race at the beginning of this video, you saw Sarah doing a HIIT workout while I ran at a steady pace. However, we both also did the other form of cardio so that we could compare the results to ourselves. So for the HIIT workout, we exercised at our highest intensity for 20 minutes, doing 30 seconds on and 30 seconds off, and these are the results.
Given this isn't the most accurate experiment, our Fitbit and Apple Watch told us we burned 175 and 155 calories in 20 minutes of HIIT.
For the steady state cardio, we jogged at a steady pace at a 5 out of 10 effort for 20 minutes, and these are the results.
We burned 170 and 153 calories jogging for 20 minutes. So HIIT barely won, but honestly, we expected HIIT to have burned way more calories when compared to steady state.
But what does the real science say about this?
A study from the National Library of Medicine found that you will burn more calories performing a HIIT workout than you would performing the same amount of time of steady state cardio. Not only that, but HIIT workouts actually boost your metabolism in a way that you will continue to burn more calories for the 3 to 16 hours post-workout due to a phenomenon called excess post-workout oxygen consumption.
So basically, you burn a lot of calories in HIIT workouts, even after you finish exercising. So let's look back at the calories burned in the hour following our workouts.
When we take a look at the peak heart rates in HIIT versus steady state, that's where we can see the major difference. Because both of our heart rates were significantly higher when doing HIIT, it allowed us to burn about 17% more calories in the hours that followed, leading to burning an extra 100 to 200 calories throughout the entire day when compared to steady state.
Now let's look back at question number 1 again. But first, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more science-based content like this. While steady-state cardio burns a higher percentage of fat compared to overall calories, HIIT ends up burning so many more calories in total that it also ends up burning more fat overall as well. So HIIT wins for the number of calories burned and the amount of fat burned per hour. Based on these metrics and the research we did, the superior form of cardio is high-intensity interval training. So if you only have 20 minutes to work out, we recommend HIIT. While this video might have given you some direction on your cardio routine, we all know the real challenge comes with consistency in your workouts. If you want tips on sticking to your new fitness routine, check out our video here. For the studies and the research mentioned in this video, you can find a list of the references linked in our blog post down below. Thanks for watching!